So what happened is I saw a very clear shift during COVID.
Okay.
So during COVID, I was at PropertyFinder,
Yeah.
and we were doing these weekly webinars, and we were showing various different data points, and we had thousands of people on these webinars. It was very popular. I don't know if you remember them.
I do, yeah.
And we were showing various different data points to the agents on how they can help improve their business.
Yeah.
So for example, I specifically remember when we saw the shift from searches in apartments to townhouses and villas. So we showed them the data, we showed them how they can use the data, how they can show the data to their consumers, to their clients. And this is where I saw agents really start to embrace the data during COVID, relying on it, and using it and sending it to clients. And that trend kind of stayed to this day. And now with so much competition in the market with brokerages and agents, you need to differentiate yourself 100%. And you need to show that you are educated on the market or in your area, and you have data to back it up.
100%.
Yeah, it's very important.
It's massive, and I think from my 12 years in Dubai, I've never had support on that from the company. It's always been told you need to, know the market. There's never been a company that focuses on that. So I had to do it myself. So I would literally write down every morning, my set routine would be to search Dubai real estate news and just try and find some facts and figures, so that when I was speaking, I was selling mansions. I've never bought a mansion. So how can I speak to someone and advise them on something I've never done? Well, I need to give them some knowledge, right? So that's something that I had to do. And the difference, I think, from an agent that says, this is a really great time to buy because everyone's buying, versus an agent that says, we're expecting an increase in GDP. There's a new launch that's coming here, which will add, these facilities, small things. And I really think companies don't do that enough. And I know my friends in the industry, they just feel lost, right?
But this is what differentiates you as a very successful real estate broker, now owner of a company, is that you took the initiative. You knew that you needed to be educated and to educate your clients as well. They were relying on you. Yeah,
I guess it's for me, sales is not in my nature to be pushy and to be salesy. So I felt like if I was going to ask someone to increase the offer or reduce the asking price, I needed to back it up with something apart from me just telling them.
It's the easiest way to do it.
And if you've got data, it's this is this is the market talking, right? It's not just me pushing you. So that's what we always talk about here. And every morning here, we role play and practice speaking about data and talking about it, so that it's natural and it can be put in. And honestly, the difference, even from the guys here now, they just feel so much better in themselves, like they feel like a professional. And let's be honest, they're trying to make the money of a top lawyer. An average agent in Dubai now is making $1 million dirhams net. That's £200,000. To make that in the UK, brain surgeons don't make that in the UK. So how are you expecting to go out and make that kind of money without actually knowing something?
Yes, exactly.
So I think it's really interesting, and hopefully it just becomes more of the norm, I guess. And it then leads to a better experience for the buyers, and
gives you the leading advantage, for sure.
Yeah, maybe we shouldn't tell all of our secrets. So I mean, apart from that, you've been around real estate, you've seen it all, I guess, in Dubai. What other things do agencies and agents lack, and what could they do to be better, in your opinion?
So the agencies have improved a lot, especially the larger.
The brokerages.
The brokerages, they've improved a lot, especially the larger ones when it comes to training agents on the market and how to utilize the various tools that they have. But just in general, I would say that there's a lack of knowledge on these various tools. So there's a lot of tools available to agents in the market, either to educate themselves or to promote themselves. We're seeing more agents on social media, but quite frankly, I don't think we're seeing enough, and I don't think we're seeing enough that is giving valuable content.
There's a difference, isn't there? I think a lot of social media with real estate. When we were opening another brokerage, I started to follow back real estate agents, and I'd never done it before because I never needed to. I was trying to make content for clients, but then now I accepted all the real estate agents, and it's the same thing, and it really it's ruined my experience of social media now, because
Yeah.
all I'm seeing are people trying to show off to their friends back home about how well they're doing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, the client doesn't value.
Mm-hmm.
I never put a post up saying what I'd sold, because I get that it's kind of like proving that you can do a job, but it doesn't really give much more to the client. You know, there's not really, clients not looking at that thinking, okay, I've learned something new, or this has helped me with a decision I'm struggling with. So yeah, but yeah, most of it is just they're doing it, but I don't know if they're doing it for the right reasons, perhaps.
Yeah, I think there's a few agents that I follow, and whenever they're showing a property, I skip.
Yeah.
Because, okay, this is the living room, this is the kitchen.
I get it. I mean, you're going to want to see it yourself anyway.
Exactly. But when they have something informational on there, something educational, something that I'm learning from, then I watch.
Yeah.
Even if it's something that has like a silliness component to it, but I'm still learning something.
Yeah.
Or when they talk about their deals.
Yeah.
Or what they've experienced. Exactly.
Yeah.
Those are the interesting videos, and that's the interesting content.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I would say that agents need to use more of that, as well as the tools like the data tools and the portals.
100%.
I mean, now PropertyFinder by You, they have both like really good data components to them. So utilizing that and educating themselves as well as their clients.
Yeah. I guess you have to understand it first before you can help others understand it.
And then also another thing is a pet peeve of mine.
Okay.
When you hear these social media and podcasts of people speaking about data, but you don't verify what they're saying is true, and then you repeat it, that is a pet peeve of mine.
Yeah.
So like one very common one is about the population stats.
Yeah.
So you need to go to Dubai Statistics Center to see what the population growth has been since COVID, which is 100,000 gross.
Okay.
People are saying 200,000, 250,000, 180,000 because they're hearing these numbers and then they repeat it without fact checking.
Yeah.
You need to fact check data always. Even if the person that's saying it might be the most credible person, just fact check it before you go onto social media and talk about it.
Because then it's you. That's your name.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's really interesting. I always found it, I guess now it's easier, but in the days there'd be so much conflicting, when you're just looking at the news, like you said, without getting it from the true source, it's like, it's just such a mess out there.
Yes.
And you're trying to advise clients, there's just like the same kind of points, but different statistics around it. It's like, how can that be? You know?
Yeah, because people don't fact check.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And you do have your source of truth, and you have a lot of government databases. You have Digital Dubai, Smart Dubai, Dubai Pulse, there's 3 names to it, where you can find a lot of the raw data that you can download. And then you have the data platforms. So like ReEDIn is one of them. That's the one that I use, that is like the most comprehensive one in the market.
Okay.
But yeah, you need to fact check always.
How can one source be better? Like, how can ReEDIn be better than if it's just the data? I don't understand that.
It's the data, it's how you clean it.
Okay. Talking about like these anomalies and things.
Yeah, so is it a villa or is it land?
Yeah.
It's in Wadi Al Safa 7, Wadi Al Safa 5, which community, which villa number. It's really the cleansing part. Also, it's about how much historical data that they have. And ReEDIn is the oldest data platform here. So I think they've been here almost 30 years or something like that.
Okay.
So they have a lot of historical data that they can feed off of and use to build their matrices, which is what they did.
Okay.
So yeah, it's really important that you're looking at the proper data.
Yeah.
And also from a source that is a neutral third party.
Yeah.
Doesn't have their
Yeah.
Exactly. That's very important as well.
Interesting. Yeah.